Myself talking along with the vocabulary words, and you can sort of work at your own pace. And so pause it whenever it gets to a word that you need to write down. Remember to underline or highlight the word and then write the definition. So our next unit is Mesopotamia, which is a long word that I did not make up, I promise. But it was the first actual civilization. So we talked about grapes, geography, religion, achievements, politics, all those things. So Mesopotamia was the first sort of city or group of people that actually had all the things to qualify as a civilization. So the actual definition is just going to be a region of the Tigris and Euphrates River, or between the Tigris and Euphrates River, but I'll let you guys write it down. Okay, so your next word is Fertile Crescent. Fertile land is land that is capable of producing a good amount of crops. So it's good land to farm on. If you go up to the mountains in some rocky soil and try to plant some things, it's not going to work very well. That's not fertile land. So crescent is a moon shape. So Mesopotamia was called the Fertile Crescent. That was its nickname because it was between two rivers in kind of a crescent shape, and the land was very fertile. So that's why it was such an ideal location. So when I'm going to put the definition up here, and you guys can pause it and write the definition, and then just click play when you're finished. Okay, your next word is irrigation. Irrigation just basically means to water crops. To supply with by artificial means fake. So rain is watering crops authentically, and like a sprinkler system or going out there with a pitcher, and water, or like a garden thing and watering flowers would be artificial means. So you can pause it. All right, your next word is city-state, which does not require a whole lot of explaining. It's basically a city/state. Same thing as we use today, really. Just a city and the surrounding area around it. So you guys can go ahead and pause. All right, next is cuneiform. Some people pronounce it cuneiform, but it is their written language. So our written language, A, B, C, the A is like a triangle with a line through it. That's our A. That's one of our letters. Theirs were these little wedge-shaped symbols. And the ones that we have figured out are in this little picture over here. But it's just wedge-shaped symbols. It was their way of writing. So you can pause it now. All right, next is a scribe. So if you've ever had maybe someone like broke their arm or something like that and couldn't write, and they would say, well, we'll get him a scribe in school, like someone to take notes for them or whatever. A scribe is just someone who writes things down. So in Mesopotamia, they were actually really important in society. They were very highly regarded because not that many people knew how to write and how to read. So you can pause this now. All right, an artisan is a skilled worker, especially something like pottery that you do with your hands. It's basically you are trained in a specific area. So once the hunter-gatherers were able to settle down and settle in one place, they had more time. And so they were able to develop specialization of labor that we talked about last unit. So people are trained in specific skills. So an artisan is just a worker with a certain set of skills. So you can pause. And last is a ziggurat. It is an ancient Mesopotamian temple tower. It almost looks like if you've ever seen like the Mayan ruins, or a picture of that, it almost looks similar. They were these gigantic temples. They were religious centers, and they had, the stairs and all this stuff. And at the very top, there was a place that only the holiest of people were allowed to go. So only the priests were allowed in that location because it was the highest location, which they thought was the closest to heaven and the closest to God. So regular people could not, weren't considered, important enough to go up there. So you guys can pause it and write this, and then make sure that you've got everything written down, snap a photo, upload it, and you're done for the day.